Tiny home makeover, vintage shabby chic hacks, and spring patterns like stripes and gingham ideas. Hello there, friends. I'm David, and welcome back to Vintage and Rustic, the cozy little corner of YouTube where we celebrate all things warm, worn, and wonderfully nostalgic. Here on the channel, I like to share thoughtful home decorating ideas, charming makeovers, and unique design tips that help transform any space into a heartwarming retreat. Today, we're diving into a topic that's very close to my heart: tiny home makeovers with a vintage shabby chic flair, brought to life with cheerful spring patterns like stripes, gingham, and delicate florals. Whether you're tucked away in a countryside cottage, living large in a little city apartment, or creating your dream weekend hideaway, the magic of vintage and rustic decorating is how it makes any space, no matter the size, feel rich with character and timeless charm. Imagine transforming your compact rooms using soft pastels, antique finds, vintage textiles, and classic patterns that whisper of simpler, sunnier days. It's about blending time-worn textures with light, airy palettes and touches of nature-inspired decor. In today's episode, we'll gently weave our way through a collection of vintage shabby chic hacks, from repurposing old wooden crates as side tables to layering gingham cushions and striped throws in soft, faded hues. These ideas will not only freshen up your tiny home for spring, but also add warmth, history, and personality in a way that mass-produced modern decor just can't match. As spring begins to bloom, it's the perfect time to refresh those small spaces with cheerful fabrics and whimsical touches. Tiny homes offer a unique decorating challenge. Every inch counts, but with a few clever ideas and an eye for detail, you can turn even the tiniest nook into a bright, inviting haven. Try adding vintage lace curtains that flutter in the breeze, or hang weathered picture frames with black and white photos for a nostalgic touch. Layering patterns is key in shabby chic style. Stripes, gingham, polka dots, and tiny florals in gentle pastels like blush pink, soft mint, creamy ivory, and robin's egg blue create a harmonious, lived-in feel. Look for pre-loved items at flea markets or thrift shops. An old Let's talk about textiles, one of the simplest and most effective ways to transform a space. In a tiny home, choosing the right fabrics makes a world of difference. Swap out heavy winter throws for light cotton blankets in soft checks or classic stripes. Layer gingham pillow covers on your vintage bench, or add floral tea towels in the kitchen for a sweet spring touch. Shabby Chic decorating thrives on mix-and-match patterns, so don't be afraid to combine ticking stripes with ditzy florals or buffalo checks with polka dots. Use vintage crochet doilies on shelves or as makeshift placemats on a rustic farmhouse table. Even the smallest vintage home decor updates, like swapping lampshade for ones covered in soft, faded gingham fabric, can completely alter the feel of a room. Look for ruffled slipcovers, embroidered napkins, and hand-painted signs that add both practicality and charm. In a tiny home, wall space is precious, so consider hanging vintage plates in pretty patterns or creating a gallery wall with rustic wooden frames. Soft colors, delicate textures, and weathered finishes work together to make your home feel like a serene, sun-drenched cottage in the countryside. As we begin to wrap up, I want to remind you that tiny home makeovers don't require huge budgets or extensive renovations. With a few thoughtful vintage home decorating ideas and simple shabby chic hacks, you can give your small space a whole new personality. Focus on layering those beautiful spring patterns, cheerful gingham, delicate stripes, vintage florals, and soft checks in your textiles, cushions, and curtains. Incorporate antique-inspired accents like painted wooden trays, vintage enamelware, and old mason jars repurposed as candle holders or flower vases. A simple wreath made from twigs and dried flowers hung on your tiny front door instantly adds a welcoming, rustic touch. And don't forget the beauty of natural materials. Aged wood, wicker baskets, linen fabrics, and wrought iron pieces bring warmth and authenticity to your decor. Your tiny home can become a sanctuary filled with sunlight, softness, and stories told through beloved vintage pieces and springtime patterns. Thank you so much for joining me on this gentle stroll through vintage, shabby, chic, tiny home makeovers. I hope today's ideas inspire you to pick up a paintbrush, visit a thrift store, or simply rearrange your space with fresh eyes this spring. The joy of tiny house decor is how it invites creativity and resourcefulness, letting you mix charming finds with practical solutions in a space that truly reflects your style. Remember, it's the little details, a soft striped throw, a vintage gingham curtain, or a chipped china cup filled with wildflowers, that turn a house into a home. If you enjoyed this calming and creative episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your own shabby chic decor ideas. I'd love to hear how you're bringing spring's gentle beauty into your home. Until next time, take care and stay cozy, friends.